Good morning. Bit wet and miserable here in France today. The idea today is to show you a couple of different uses of twisties. So this is probably going to be a bit of a stop video because I don't really want to show you how to make the beads unless it's necessary for using the twistie. And Anne is already going to cover making the actual twisties. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is using a twistie to make flower petals, and I'm going to use a small cabochon mandrel, but you can, if you want to, this will work perfectly well on a bead, a button shape, a lentil, even a round bead if you play around with the design, or you've got a big enough surface on the bead. But for me, I quite like making things off the end of the mandrel. So I'm going to use a small cab mandrel today anyway. So I've got a 15mm cab mandrel. I've got a rod of a Fetra lime green, and I've got a twistie that's a Fetra pink, Rubino oro and a white, and it's probably 2mm, slightly wider. You don't need a long twistie for a bead, so if your twistie is only 2 or 3 inches long, that's fine, I wouldn't worry about it, but I've got about 6 inches I think, and I can just see that my shutter's blown open with the wind, so it might actually affect what you can see. Anyway, I'm warming up my mandrel, and I'm going to start heating this rod. This is the one thing that I'm probably just going to show you the whole thing from start to finish, but in general I'm just going to stop and start, make the bead and turn the video back on, so you're going to have to bear with me. I've decided to do it this way because it takes about an hour and a half for me to upload a 10-minute video. So I don't know if you can see on the top of my torch, I've got the bottom half of a button press. This one is a catwalk button press, and I use these catwalk ones quite a lot, although I've got other presses as well. I quite like the shapes on some of these catwalk ones. So I'm just building up the base to make the cabochon shape. And I'm hoping the fact that this shutter is blown open is not going to interfere too much with what you can see. It's a little bit windy out there this morning. So I'm just using the button to check the size and the shaping of the cabochon. If you haven't got a button press, you can just press it on your marker, there's no problem. If you haven't got a cab mandrel, make it off the end, or make a button or a lentil and work it that way. It'll be fine. This is just to give you an idea of a different way of melting glass and working with it. There we go. Just even it out now. I've got the shape pretty well. I just want to even up the thickness. Make sure it's not going over the edge. There we are. Almost done. So with the twistie, I want to run a ring of the twistie fairly close to the outside edge of the bead, or cabochon in this case. So I don't know if you can see particularly well on the video, but the twistie is not actually in the flame, it's just marginally under the flame, and then burn off the end. You'll want to tuck this down a little bit to tidy it up. There we go. Heat it a little bit. Can you see that? want this to be firmly attached, but at this point I don't want it melted in because I want to move where this twistie is sitting. So there we go. So if you've got a variable flame, turn it down a little bit. If you're working on a hot head, it'll work still. So heat one spot on your twistie, not on the whole thing, and pull that with the edge of your shaper down towards the middle. So you've got almost a heart shape there, pretty much opposite, and do the same thing again. You're pulling this. If you have to move it more than once, fine, just take your time, there's no rush on it. And you could literally leave it with that heart shape, which was quite pretty. And I'm going to do 4 pulls on this one. So I've gone opposite where the first one at the minute. And you want them reasonably evenly spaced. And you're literally just heating the twistie, you're not heating the lower at this point, and you want to keep adjusting that until all those points off the twistie meet in the middle, or as near as you can to meeting in the middle. If they're not 100% perfect, don't worry, nature isn't perfect, flowers aren't perfect. I'm hoping you can see this. This is actually gone with that shutter blowing open. I'm losing all of the vision on this camera. So now you've gone and pulled those all in. See if I can get the shutter, if you can just bear with me. This a quick warm and then I'll show you again. So what I've done at the minute is pulled that circle in 4 points in towards the centre. You could leave it like that if you wanted to. I want to melt it in a bit more. So you will need to do this quite slowly. Literally heat a little, press a little, and keep adjusting with your blade if you need to. If you haven't got a blade, a poke tool, a leather needle, anything like that is just enough to drag this glass a little bit. Just keep adjusting until you're happy with it. I've got one of these made already in the house. So if I leave this one slightly raised off the surface, and I'll take photographs, I'm going to put something in the middle just to represent the stamen on the flower. So I found a tiny bit of black stringer that was sat on my desk, and I'm just going to pop that into the middle. But in the house I've got one that's already melted completely flat, so I'll take photos of both of them so you can see the two, or I'll add the two to the video at the end and see how it works best. But anyway, that is ready to go in the kiln. There we are.